This is going to be a short video on how to deal with this scum, soap suds, oils and stuff that builds up on the pool surface if someone swims without showering or cleaning off lotions and hair products. This stuff is very difficult to remove. It doesn't come out in the filter because it passes through the filter, and it could take days, if not weeks, to clean up through traditional clarifiers, defoamers, and other similar products. It just tends to come back over and over again, and no amount of backwashing or cleaning of the filters seems to resolve this, because it gets trapped in the filter media and then just comes right back into the water. So what I'm doing here is I'm overfilling the water so that it spills over the top, because this stuff seems to float on the surface like oils do. So you can see here where it's coming off the top and running over the side of the pool, and you just let that run for several hours to maybe overnight, and then it will clear up on its own. So I have a garden hose coming out of the hose bib here, and just a light, slow amount of water going into it. Doesn't take too much. That's all I got coming out of the hose. Once you get it up, you can add a lot of water real fast until it's full, overfilling, and then you turn it down to just a little amount so that you don't disturb the water. You don't want to have it churning up too much, because if you disturb the water, then it mixes in and then you don't have it floating to the surface. So you want it to be still and you want it to float to the surface so that it can run off the sides. And if you have these skimmers, then you have to plug the skimmers, otherwise the water will come out the top. So just like that. So I put a towel and some weight on top of it, and that keeps the majority of the water from coming out of the skimmer access hole. And then if you have multiple locations where it spills over, I like to take some towels and block some of that to try and keep, there's another set over there, to try and have like the water come around in a circle and then exit before it comes around again. And that will allow the water to slowly turn around and hopefully force everything out. If you have multiple locations, then you lose too much water, and then you might not get the proper circulation, and you might not get a good amount spilling over the side where you're everything seems to be slowly working its way over. So eventually these bubbles and this suds and oils will get less and less and less as they float to the surface and slowly work their way over and down into the drains. Now I have a real slow backed up drain, trough drain or perimeter drain. There's some renovations happened and they plugged them all up with cement or something inside, so they're really slow. So I have to be careful how fast I spill over the side, because this will flood and potentially run out the door. So if you have a similar problem, you're going to have to figure out what water level you add that won't overwhelm your drains too much. So I've had to do this a bunch of times. Anytime a family or a bunch of kids, hair products, they don't shower. We have a shower here that they're supposed to be using, and at this hotel we occasionally get the guests that will swim in their clothes, or they have a bunch of hair products on, lotions and other things, and this is what happens when they don't shower or wear bathing suits, and this can put the pool out of order for days sometimes. But this procedure I've learned will do this overnight, and it's generally clear the following morning. And then you use a bunch of backwash. If you got a sand filter, like the one that we have in here, if you have one of these sand filters, you can run a backwash and a rinse until you get the water level back to its proper level in here. If you have other filters, such as a paper or pleated filter, you're going to have to work with that one. But good idea to maybe change them out or clean them, remove them and clean it before reinstalling. But that's the procedure that I use, and it seems to work well. It takes a while to get the pool to fill and start to overflow, but once you're set, you can pretty much just leave it that way and then come back the following morning and see how it is. All right, thank you so much.